Sports, a place where many athletes find success.
This is likely the final play that matters. End zone wide open. What a night for Mike Williams.
But where there's a winner, there has to be a loser.
He came a long way. You hear me? Come here, I love you, bro. Real.
It's one thing to watch the game, but another to analyze it. Let's talk about the numbers. You ready?
YouTube, what's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy Numbers Fan Jay. Today we have the AFC East predictions for you. If you missed it, last week we finished up the NFC with the NFC North. Please click this card, go check that out for your boy. Hit that like button for me, comment, let me know who you think was gonna win that NFC North. Hit subscribe, man. Hit that notifications bell. Let's go ahead and get into the AFC East. But before we do, of course, we have some news. We got a little bit of news. The NBA is back. So expect some NBA content videos starting next week on this NBA restart. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description again for those of you who do not know how this NBA restart is going to work exactly. It's a little bit complicated, so I'll leave that link in the description to save time on this video. But going into the AFC East, last year I predicted that Patriots would win the division. Second place would be the Jets. Third place would be the Bills, and fourth place would be the Dolphins. Wasn't too far off. First place, Patriots, of course. Second place was the Bills, though. Wasn't expecting that. Third place was the Jets, and fourth place was the Dolphins. So I got the top and the bottom right. The middle was flip-flopped a little bit. But, you know, we're going to try to do better. We're going to try to do better this year. It's a brand new year, baby. It's a brand new year. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. Starting off with my cellar dwellers in the Miami Dolphins. Now, last year, the Dolphins were pretty clearly tanking. They finished 5-11, 2019. They were 2-4 in divisional games. Their minus 88 point differential was the worst in the NFL by 19 points. 2019 offensively for the Miami Dolphins, they finished 27th in total offense, last in rushing, 25th in points per game, the most sacks allowed in the league, and 25th in giveaways. This offense wasn't really an offense. We'll just put it at that. 2019 defensively, they were 30th in total defense, 26th versus the pass, 27th versus the run, last in points allowed. They had the least sacks in the NFL and were tied for 28th in takeaways. They were 27th in turnover differential at minus 10. This team, like I said, a lot of people said they were tanking to get to it. So, that being said, the losses over the offseason for the Dolphins were minimized. I didn't see a lot of notable names being cut or being let go in free agency. But the biggest loss for this team, of course, Minkah Fitzpatrick, was lost mid-season to the Steelers, went over there, made that defense even better. Additions-wise, personnel-wise, of course, Matt Breida, the 49ers running back, we know how fast this guy is. We know what type of speed he brings to the backfield. Byron Jones, the Dallas Cowboys cornerback, also came over, so that's a good addition for their secondary. Jordan Howard, the running back, former Bears running back. Also, offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator were both changed. So we have new offensive coordinator in Chan Gailey, as well as new defensive coordinator in Josh Boyer. Coming off IR, we have Xavier Howard, who is looked at as one of the top 5 corners in the NFL right now. You pair him with Byron Jones, that secondary is looking nice for the Dolphins. First time in a long time that this Dolphins secondary has looked this nice. Now, draft-wise for the Miami Dolphins, of course, like I said, they tanked for Tua. They drafted Tua. They got who they wanted in the draft. You know, coming off that hip surgery, we don't know what we're going to get out of Tua. Also drafted by the Dolphins. They had a lot of draft capital here, so stay with me. Still in the first round, Austin Jackson, offensive tackle out of USC. Noah, we're just going to call him Ig. Noah Ig, also a first-round draft pick, cornerback out of Auburn. Going into the second round, Robert Hunt, the guard from Louisiana Lafayette, as well as Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle for Alabama. And in the third round, they finished up Brandon Jones, safety out of Texas. So, bottom line for the Miami Dolphins, they had a lot of turnover in this offseason. They had a lot of turnover. After tanking last year, don't think this roster is ready to be competitive. That takes a mental toll on the players who actually are there to play and actually play well. You know, so don't expect a lot from this Dolphins team this year. But this offense is looking like it's building something fast. So I can't really say that they're going to be scoring a whole bunch of points, but they are capable of making a lot of plays this year. With Tua at quarterback, you got Howard and Breida in the backfield. You still got Devontae Parker. You got tight end Gesicki. He can make some plays. So don't expect too much, but this offense can make some plays. So do note that if you have the Dolphins on your schedule. Coming in at 3 for me, it's going to be the New York Jets. 2019, the New York Jets went 7-9. 2-4 in divisional games. This team, underwhelmed. Underwhelming team. I expected them to finish second. They just didn't. Just crazy things happen with this team. The quarterback got mono. What quarterback gets mono? The NFL quarterback. Like, that's just unheard of. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get into this, man. They went 2-4 in divisional games. 2019 offensively for the New York Jets, they were last in total offense, 29th in passing, 31st in rushing, 31st in points per game. This was the 4th most sacked team in the league, and they were tied for 23rd in giveaways. 2019 defensively, they were 7th in total defense, 2nd versus the run, and 23rd in sacks. So they had a few things stick out. Some things great, some things not so great. The sacks, of course, you expect them to be a little better. But that being said, personnel-wise, the losses for the New York Jets, Jamal Adams has been traded to the Seahawks. The Seahawks. He's been traded. That is their best. That was their best defensive player, and now he's gone to the Seahawks. You found a way to piss him off. Congratulations, New York. They also lost Roby Anderson. He was surpassed by Jamison Crowder as the #1 receiver this past season. So at least they have a #1 receiver right now. At least the primary target, I guess. Ty Montgomery was also a loss. Some depth at running back there. Additions-wise, they added Joe Flacco. Super Bowl champion, of course, has plenty of experience. Frank Gore, speaking of experience, he's still chugging it out. Former 49ers running back, former Bills running back, coming from another division. Also coming off of IR, C.J. Mosley, their best defensive player outside of Jamal Adams. I told you guys that he was going to come in here and help this defense major. He did. Going into the draft capital, draft-wise for the New York Jets, Mekhi Becton, the offensive tackle out of Louisville. He's a great player. Denzel Mims, wide receiver out of Baylor. So they took time to get a wide receiver in the draft. We'll see how that pans out. Ashton Davis, safety out of California. And Jabari Zuniga, the defensive end out of Florida. He was drafted in the 3rd round. Now, the bottom line for the New York Jets, they still lack receivers. You know, they drafted a receiver, okay, cool, but they didn't add one in free agency. This O-line still has questions. We talked about this team being the 4th most sacked team in the league. They added Mekhi Becton, so that's huge. That's huge. Great addition there, but is that enough? Is that enough? We'll see. Pass rush, of course, 23rd in sacks isn't what you want. they waited to the third round to draft the defensive end. I don't know what to. I can't really just say that the Jets are gonna be second even this year. I thought I was a year off, but I don't think the Jets are gonna finish second in the division this year, and that is because the second team in this division is gonna be the Bills again. It's gonna be the Bills again. They finished 10-6 in 2019, 3-3 in divisional games. They lost to the Texans in the wild card round in overtime. Low scoring game, but very fun to watch. This team surpassed a lot of expectations, especially Josh Allen. He improved leaps and bounds. They were fun to watch at times. Offensively, 2019 for the Bills, they were 24th in total offense, 26th in passing, 8th in rushing, 23rd in points per game. So this team ran the ball very well, did not pass the ball very well. 2019 defensively, they were 3rd in total defense. So another one-sided team like the Jets, struggling offensively, dominating defensively. The Bills finished 4th versus the pass, 10th versus the run, 2nd in points allowed, only behind the Patriots, and they tied for 10th in takeaways. They tied for 10th in turnover differential as well, with the +4 turnover differential. This team, like I said, dominated on one side of the ball defensively. Didn't do a whole lot on the offensive side. Personnel-wise, the losses, Star Lotulelei opted out of the season due to COVID. Due to COVID, they're giving players the option to opt out, of course. Shaq Lawson, great on the pass rush for the Bills, let go in the offseason, surprisingly. Frank Gore, of course, as we just talked about, went to the Jets. Addition-wise, Stephon Diggs. Now, how much better could you get at the receiver position? Unless, of course, you're the Cardinals and you just get DeAndre Hopkins. But anyway, Stephon Diggs, huge playmaker coming in for the Bills. This is exactly what they needed. They did exactly what they needed to do. Draft-wise, for the Bills, A.J. Epinesa. I did the best I could, man. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Defensive end out of Iowa. They also drafted Zach Moss, running back out of Utah. Bottom line for the Buffalo Bills, they added Stephon Diggs. Their defense is returning. This offense is going to run off of Josh Allen again. The pressure's still going to be on him. Now he has to get the ball to the receivers. He's still going to have to run at times. The running backs aren't that impressive, honestly. No disrespect to anybody here. But it's just going to be a lot of pressure on him. We're going to see if he can continue to improve. I don't think they'll win this division, but I do think that they will make the playoffs. So, there we go for the Bills. That only leaves one team. You know who that is, the New England Patriots. 2019, they finished 12-4. They lost in the wild card round to Tennessee. They finished 5-1 in this division, continue to dominate this AFC East division. 2019 offensively, this Tom Brady-led offense was 8th in passing, 7th in points per game, and 6th in sacks allowed. They also finished with the 4th fewest giveaways in the league, took care of the ball very well. Defensively, for the Patriots, they were nothing short of a stone wall. 1st in total defense, 2nd versus the pass, 6th versus the run, 1st in points allowed, 7th in sacks, and 2nd in takeaways. They were top 10 in virtually every category that you could think of. They finished 1st in turnover differential because this team took the ball away week after week after week. And like I said, they took care of the ball offensively. Tom Brady usually does. Losses personnel-wise, Tom Brady. Now that is, I can't even explain how huge of a loss that is. That's the GOAT. He is now gone after about 20 years with the franchise. Gronk was also a loss. He came out of retirement, though. So, you know, he retired about a year or two ago. Came out of retirement. Was traded to the Buccaneers to play with Brady for another year. Marcus Cannon, the starting tackle for the Patriots, has opted out of the 2020 football season due to COVID, as well as Patrick Chung, strong safety. They both opted out due to COVID. Hopefully this team is going to be able to take these punches and keep rolling. Kyle Van Noy also lost. He went to the Dolphins in the offseason. Jamie Collins also lost, as well as Steven Gostkowski, the kicker. He got hurt last year. He only played 4 games. Not a surprising loss there. He was getting up there in age. All right. It makes sense. Additions-wise, now this is where things get a little bit tricky. Cam Newton, who I like to call the Derrick Rose of the NFL. Got his MVP early. Only difference between him and Derrick Rose is that he's had more success. He's taken his team to the Super Bowl. Derrick Rose has never taken his team to the NBA Finals. That's just facts. But anyway, we'll leave that there. Coming off injury, I wouldn't say IR because he wasn't on IR. N'Keal Harry. I expect great things out of N'Keal Harry. Cam Newton's going to be looking for another receiver to throw the ball to. He doesn't have a Gronk. He doesn't have the receivers that... He doesn't have the guys that Brady had in his long tenure here. He doesn't have the Randy Mosses, the Wes Welkers. He doesn't have those guys. But he will have a young, hungry guy in N'Keal Harry, and he will have a veteran in Julian Edelman who's excited to play with him. Now, draft-wise, for the New England Patriots, they didn't have a first-round pick, but they did have a second-round pick, and they had a lot of third-round picks, so please stay with me. Second round, they drafted Kyle Dagger, the safety out of Lenoir Rhine. I've never heard of that school, I'm going to be honest with you. Josh Uche, defensive end out of Michigan. Going into the third round, Anthony Jennings, offensive linebacker outside linebacker, out of Bama. Devin Asiasi, tight end out of UCLA. Dalton Keene, tight end out of Virginia Tech. Now, you remember last time they drafted 2 tight ends, it was Gronk and Hernandez, and they dominated. So just keep that in mind. Bottom line for the New England Patriots, they still have Bill Belichick. They have Cam Newton, the former MVP, former NFC champion. Questions would be, there's still no defensive coordinator that has been named for them. No special teams coach that has been named for them. These are very important positions. We need these positions to be filled. Don't know who's going to fill those positions, but Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches of all time. He is still the best coach in this division. I think Cam is the best quarterback in this division. And I just don't see the Patriots coming down this year, guys. They're going to have to be dethroned. The Bills have the best shot at that, of course, but they haven't been able to do it. The Patriots won 5-1 in the division last year. So, I mean, if you can win those divisional games and stay on top of the division, you usually win the division unless you are the Bears. But thank y'all for watching, man. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're new, thank you for your view. I appreciate you. Who do y'all think is going to win this division this year? Who do y'all think is going to win the AFC East? Got a lot of turnover, of course. The Bills looked good last year. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what division y'all want to see next week as well. We still have the AFC West, South, and North. Lost my directions there for a second. But let me know, guys. It's your boy Jay. We out of here.